wish to speak with me?
Yes, Mr. Chan. I'm sorry to bring you out on such a beastly night.
Problems rarely wait for clearing weather.
That's exactly why I need your help. I'm under strict orders to remain undercover, but ever since I came aboard the ship,
Yes?
since I've been aboard, 2 attempts have been made to kill me.
You work for government?
I'm Scott Pearson, sir, agent for the United States Treasury Department.
Oh, one of its most important agents, I should say. Charmed to meet you, Mr. Pearson.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. I've been assigned to investigate this hot money that's appeared among the islands.
Hot money?
Yes, it's loot from the Philippines. Our treasure's worth millions and currency in large bills. Someone aboard has discovered my purpose and is trying to...
Sorry? Oh, Mr. Chan. Say, this is a regular pea souper, ain't it? Understand the show's starting in the salon. Not going to miss it, are you?
I expect show will be more entertaining than fog.
Well, see you inside.
Yeah.
That was meant for me, Mr. Chan.
Perhaps. Could have been accident. You were right. This rope has been cut.
We better go to my cabin.
No. No better opportunity than during show to observe all persons on board. Come with me.
Whatever you say, Mr. Chan.
We was on Route 66 one night, and the fog was so thick, you couldn't see your hand that far before you. What's wrong? Who you spying on now?
Oh, I wasn't spying.
What are you peeping in there for?
Oh, I was looking for Pop. I thought he might be inside.
Oh, that's different.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show about to start is a time-honored ritual on all ships crossing the equator. We cross the line tonight. When the curtain goes up, we shall all be in King Neptune's court. Now, several neophytes who have never crossed the equator before are in the audience. They'll be tried before this great tribunal, this high marine authority, King Neptune himself. Deep down at the bottom of the azure seas, Davy Jones's locker rests in mud and slime, but it is always open to receive those whom Neptune sends. No one knows what Neptune will say or do.
This is Brace, the purser. Get me the captain, quick.
A knife in his back. Where's Dr. Whipple, the missionary?
Captain, will you come down to the salon right away? Quick.
Dr. Martin, maybe you can help.
George, who is he?
Trader, copra trader, I think.
I'm a doctor of science, not of medicine.
Man is dead.
Did you see what I saw?
Yes, I saw what you seen. Wait a minute. Where you going?
I'm going in to help Pop. A man's been killed.
That's what I mean.
What do you mean that's what I mean?
Just what I said. And I don't want to be hanging around no one that's dead.
Well, you stay here. I'm going to help Pop.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm going with you. Pardon me.
Mr. Brace, call the doctor.
I've already called him, sir. He's on his way.
Mr. Chan, will you take charge?
Yes, Captain. First suggest you allow no one to leave salon.
No one can leave Salon until Mr. Chan releases you. Mr. Brace, you will take charge.
Very well, sir.
Come with me, Captain. Assistants will remain here and keep vigilant eye open.
Okay, Pop.
has been ransacked, Captain. Most unfortunate. Scott Pearson's paper's already gone.
But his portfolio is in my safe. He gave it to me yesterday.
Oh, that is good. You had his confidence then?
To a certain extent, yes. I had instructions not to reveal his identity.
When did he first decide to speak to me?
Only this evening. He expected to do most of his work in Samoa. It was only after we left Honolulu that he became worried.
Did you know about this United States currency, this hot money supposed to be cheap commodity on market?
Yes, I heard a lot of talk among the islands. His portfolio is bound to have all the information. Mr. Chan, you should take over his work.
Very sorry, but previous commitments in Sydney, Australia would prevent my remaining in Samoa for a long time. However, I shall carry on investigation of his murder. We will question people in Salon at once. Come with me.
I took the liberty of removing the body, Mr. Chan. The lady's here is the murder weapon.
Thank you. You are sure no one left Salon?
No one, except the 2 men of the crew who carried out the body.
There we go.
Sorry.
Excuse, please. No one is permitted to leave Salon.
Excuse me. Sir, my wife and I are accredited members of the London Society. Surely you wouldn't wish to embarrass us further.
You had left seats when unfortunate gentleman was killed.
Oh, this is preposterous. To imagine that we could learn to throw knives.
Well, it's a cinch this guy who got himself killed wasn't no traitor. Well, I've been around these islands for years.
You have knowledge, Mr. Burke?
Why, sure. There's a dozen people on this boat could have thrown a knife like that. I could have tossed it myself.
So?
I said I could have tossed it, but I didn't. My firm will vouch for me, Mr. Chan. Cotton goods, all-American cotton mills. I'm introducing cotton shirts to the Polynesians. There's millions in it. And say, I figure that knife must have been thrown.
I would appreciate enlightenment.
Why, sure. Somebody in the crew tossed that one. You look for a Kanaka or a Melanesian. That's your man.
Where are you bound now, Mr. Burke?
Samoa, my first stop.
Mr. Chan, Dr. and Mrs. Martin are nervous and upset already. Surely their credentials are enough. Dr. Martin's a member of the International Society of Ichthyologists. I've been his assistant for 2 years.
Harold, I can speak for myself. If Mr. Chan is suspicious of us, we shall gladly stay for the grilling.
No suspicions. Investigation too young as yet. Your destination is Samoa, Professor?
Correct. I established an ichthyological museum there 6 years ago. But the war came along and my work was interrupted. But I said I would return, and I'm returning.
Mr. Chan, that's all true. I've lived in Pango all my life.
Your business is?
I'm a trader. Just back from Honolulu. Buying trip.
You do not travel alone, Mr. Erickson?
My wife's in the stateroom. Ill of a headache.
Mr. Chan, I gave Mrs. Erickson a pill for her headache.
Before or during show, Doctor?
Just when it started.
Lady, require any further ministrations which prevented you from witnessing show tonight?
I've been a ship's doctor for 25 years, Mr. Chan. I've seen many such shows. After attending Mrs. Erickson, I went to my cabin. There were no other calls until this one.
Mr. Erickson, your wife still too ill to join us here?
Tao. What's gone wrong, Tao?
It's all right, honey. Doesn't concern us.
You are feeling better, Mrs. Erickson?
A little. Stuart told me something had happened. I thought I'd better be near Tao.
Quite right. There is old saying, good wife's place should be at mate's elbow in time of trouble. Are any other passengers for Samoa?
Mr. Chan, I am for Samoa.
Oh, yes, Miss Simmons. May I ask your business?
I'm going to Apia, the Robert Louis Stevenson Shrine.
Tourist?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
May I vouch for Miss Simmons, sir?
Mr. Brace has sailed with me twice. Purser. Highly reputable, reliable.
Thank you, Captain. If you'll allow me, Mr. Chan, I can vouch for Miss Simmons.
Would appreciate private conversation with both of you sometime tomorrow. No cause for alarm. I may question all Samoa passengers in private. Mr. Kirk, please, one moment before you go.
Yes, Mr. Chan?
Your destination is Samoa?
No, sir. I'm bound for Suva, Wellington, Sydney. Change ships at Suva.
Show business?
Right, sir. About Miss Simmons. She's staying at my place at Pango. A 2 weeks vacation with us. Booked from Honolulu.
Mr. Erickson and I would be glad to vouch for her, Mr. Chan.
No suspicion, merely routine inquiry.
I always say watch these quiet ones. By Jiminy, you never know who toss a knife into you these days. But leave it to a big detective to figure fast. Like I always say, you pick the most innocent-looking one, you got the killer. And believe me, a dame can hide a knife like nobody's business.
Are you referring to Miss Simmons, sir?
When the shoe fits, I always say put it on.
Burke, you'll apologize for that.
Don't, George, please. Don't make a scene.
Mr. Brace, remember your position.
I'm sorry, sir.
Please, there will be no more questions for tonight. Everyone may leave salon. All go. Go. No further opportunity for show tonight. Samoa passengers all seem very congenial. Each one have very good excuse for other.
Lots of vouching going on, all right.
Only you had nothing to eat all morning. It's no good.
George, I'm too worried to eat. The whole thing's turned into a nightmare. And besides, I've caused you so much trouble. Oh, I'd like to chuck the whole thing.
Now, listen, young lady. We're in this thing together, and we're going to see it through together, remember? Remember our promise? Oh, in a matter of days, hours, it'll all be finished.
Yes, but George, I'm so afraid of what Mr. Chan might find out about us.
That's exactly what I want to talk to you about. Now, if Chan tries to question you alone. Good morning, Mr. Chan.
Good morning. Will you both please come to my cabin soon after lunch for quiet talk? Very, very important.
Yes, Mr. Chan.
Thank you so much.
George, do you suppose Mr. Chan's found out anything?
I really don't know. It's too early to say. But Rona, when he questions you, remember, you know absolutely nothing. That's our only safe course now. Understand?
Oh, Captain.
Here's Scott Pearson's portfolio.
You have examined Scott Pearson's papers, Captain?
No, Mr. Chan, I was leaving that for you. Does it say how the hot money got loose?
Oh, ruthless process of war. Renegades raid the cache and steal the loot at end of war. A man named Lane vaguely mentioned here. Man named Lane and islands of Samoa seem to be only clue.
Pearson must have thought the stuff was taken to Samoa.
That is first concrete clue, Captain. Tiger going away from village is never feared. Unfortunate agent's murder is proof he was approaching prey.
Hello? Send the doctor over right away. There's a very sick man here. Yeah, uh-huh. Cabin 8. Please hurry.
Hey, Jim, let me see how I look.
No, you stay in that bed and lie quiet. The doctor's coming right over. Boy, we'll show Pop how modern criminology works. Come in. Oh, doctor, I'm sure glad you came. He's a very sick man.
Sure.
He keeps begging for water.
Can I have some water?
He looks bad.
Water.
sorry. This is hydrophobia deformans. Prognosis uncertain. Therapy indicates immediate removal of the liver.
What are you going to do, Doc? Soda?
We'll see. Now, don't worry. This isn't going to hurt you.
I know it ain't, Doc, because I ain't going to be here. Goodbye.
I'd advise leaving the criminal investigation and fingerprinting to the astute Papa Chan.
Is he gone? Yeah, he sure is. And so are our fingerprints.
Oh, that's bad, ain't it?
It sure is.
I ask again, not accusingly, you understand, but merely as matter of information. Who is Mr. Lane? Do either of you know a man named Lane?
I've never even heard of the man before. Believe me, Mr. Chan, neither of us knows anything about this Mr. Lane.
Did either of you know identity of murdered man?
We never saw the man before this cruise.
I'm inclined to believe what you say, but I think you knew killer.
Mr. Chan, I swear on everything I ever believed in. We know nothing about it.
Inclined to help you if you wish to speak truth.
Mr. Chan, there is something that I...
Rona. Mr. Chan, can't you see there's no use torturing her?
Guilty minds sometimes pinch worse than ancient boot of torture. For 30 minutes you have both evaded direct questions. When we reach Samoa, I may be forced to detain you.
Oh, you can't do that, Mr. Chan.
Then you wish to tell all you know?
There's nothing we can tell you.
Interview ended for today.
Oh, Pop. Say, I got the doctor's fingerprints from the doorknob, but I couldn't find anything on the murder weapon.
Many persons have handled that knife since killer.
But, Pop, all modern detectives take fingerprints.
No. Only old-fashioned criminals leave such evidence behind. I wish you would be here after dinner. Where is other criminologist?
Oh, he's in touch. We got a plan to fingerprint everybody on board.
Get hold of him, and both of you be here after dinner. I may have use for your specialty.
Oh, you mean find some fingerprints?
On contrary, find no prints and confirm theory.
Chop suey 108, calling pork chop 711. Come in. Over.
Pork chop 711, receiving chop suey 108.
Over. What's he doing now? Come in. Over.
He ain't doing nothing now. Uh-oh. He's gone. He disappeared.
Well, tail him. Tail him everywhere he goes. Come in. Over.
I'll tail him to the bottom of the sea. Okay. Roger.
What you trying to do, spy on me?
I ain't spying on you, I'm detective.
Detective? What you mean detecting? Explain yourself. Detecting who?
Well, you see, I ain't after you. We're after the killer. You see, I'm Mr. Charlie Chan's second assistant.
I think I'll give Mr. Charlie Chan some work to do.
Yes. But, ain't you the man that washes the glasses at the bar?
What if I is?
Well, you see, Mr. Jim is the first assistant, and he's got a job for you to do. That's what he was saying a little while ago.
Only money talks. Listen, if the cook had caught you around here, he'll skin you alive anyhow. So show me to the job.
Come on.
I'm worried, Harold.
Worried? What are you worried about?
Oh, the way these detectives go snooping around the boat. Why, Mr. Chan might even stop us from going ashore.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. He won't bother us. How do you do?
Howdy, folks. Haven't seen that vaudeville guy, have you? You seen him?
No, sorry. Haven't seen him.
This murder now, the way I figured, the guy was killed in a trading deal. That acrobat Kirk, he knows something. Oh, sorry. And that purser and his girl, they ain't as innocent as they look.
If you don't mind, Mr. Burke, my wife and I wish to be alone.
Kind of unsociable, ain't you? Yeah, an alibi's always a perfect front. A perfect front for them that need it. Now, the way I figured, we're all in the same boat. Or on the same boat, anyhow. Like the fellow said, we ought to cooperate. Now, somebody on this boat killed that traitor. If he was a traitor.
I'm sure that is outside our province.
And another thing, there's something behind this besides a trading row. Why, the islands are flooded with hot money. You can buy a 10-grand bill for 5 U.S. currency. That's what's behind this killing, hot money. Hey, Kirk. I want to see you, man.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Chan. Say, how's the murder coming?
Investigation proceeding. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chan.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chan. No, thank you. We'll have tea in the salon.
Mr. Chan, tea?
No, thank you. Steward, please serve my dinner in my cabin. Serve early. I have much work and study.
What's Mr. Chan up to now? He's setting a trap. A trap? What kind of trap? Mouse trap? No, you dope. He's setting a trap for the killer. The killer? What are we standing here for?
Quiet, please. Lights out.
Shh. Keep still. My lady's asleep. I wish you were asleep. Me too.
Hey, Bob, look out!
Gee, Pop, you sure gave us a scare. Man, I got butterflies.
We'll now look for no fingerprints.
But say, Pop, when you planted this, why didn't you let us know? We could have caught the guy right outside the door. What do you mean, we could have caught him? You mean you could have caught him? Include me out.
Experiment not entirely success. I expected door to open and knife be thrown in. Thought perhaps might catch glimpse of killer's hand. But killer, expert, throw knife through 2-inch slat.
Whew, what an aim. But, Pop, we really could have caught him.
Hasty man could also drink tea with fork. Here, smart son will use specially on knife handle.
You mean fingerprints, Pop?
Right.
Boy, we'll find them. Hey, look, Pop. We've got fingerprints of almost everybody on board.
Excellent collection. Perhaps after a while, number 2 son be able to take up stamps. Well?
Look, Pop, it's been wiped off with oil. It's been wiped off and never touched afterwards. Gloves.
Perhaps knife never touched by human hands.
Mr. Chan, you mean that spook come through them little slats and stabbed that dumb in the back?
No, he used gloves to throw it.
The spook did?
No.
Perhaps knife not thrown. In phraseology of Euclid, x over y equal proposition still unsolved.
Hey, Jimmy, what has Euclid got to do with it?
Nothing. He's a Greek mathematician, but he's dead.
Dead? Well, what has he got to do with the case being unsolved?
If he hasn't.
I still don't get it.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening. This is the last night dance, Mr. Chan. You're not gonna miss it, are you?
Oh, no. May offer humble self as candidate for waltz.
Tao has first, wifely duty. After that, the pleasure will be mine.
I'll even skip the duty. Everybody's guessing on the murder, Mr. Chan. Laura will pump you for the latest news.
Tao.
I'll see you later, Mr. Chan.
Okay.
Bye.
I wouldn't put it past them either.
Captain, if you put everyone into brig whom you suspect, you soon would require very large brig.
Would you care to dance, Mrs. Martin?
Oh, I'd love to. Do you mind, dear?
What's that? Oh, no. Go right ahead.
Mr. Burke wants to see you.
Just like my husband, father. He was Swedish, taught Tao's mother to polka, and she was Polynesian.
Each country's dance, most beautiful dance in that particular country.
But our Polynesian Siva Siva seems loveliest to me, Mr. Chan.
Oh, very beautiful. Has just tinge of Oriental.
We'll hold the Siva Siva the first night. Will you be going ashore, Mr. Chan?
Our ship will remain in port 24 hours. Expect to be able to come ashore and take advantage of your hospitality.
Well, good. Then we'll have a real Polynesian party.
Got any gossip, honey?
Mr. Chen is a marvelous dancer.
Thank you. Been very great pleasure, Mrs. Erickson.
Give the girl the message?
She comes soon.
Okay, that's all. Beat it.
Pay me. You promise.
You'll get yours.
By and by no sabi. Pay now, make a person.
Listen, you. Another crack like that and you'll be sharping.
No rough stuff, Burke.
Watch it, boy. One whisper out of you and...
You pay me by and by soon?
Sure, he'll take care of you, Pete, after a while.
One word to anyone in this boat and you go overside. You savvy? I'll slit you from end to end.
Still coming now.
Okay, beat it, Pete.
Are you sure the purser didn't see you come out here to meet us?
Quite sure, since your threat to blackmail me and Mr. Brace.
Oh, that's an ugly word. Let's just say a redistribution of wealth, eh? Come on, hand over, miss. Well?
I haven't got it with me.
Well, where is it?
It's in the purser's safe. I'd have no excuse to get it until we're in port.
Well, when we do get in port, you better be sure to get it if you know it's good for you.
You have my word.
Okay, you keep your word and we'll keep your secret. That's fair enough, isn't it?
I'll give it to you when we get ashore. And that's all I can promise.
Well, watch your step, sister. No tricks. I know a few of them myself.
pale as a ghost.
Oh, it's nothing, darling. I'm all right. It's just nerves, I guess.
Have you got any further on the case tonight, Mr. Chan?
Very little further, Captain. Although I have investigated intelligently, I hope still, I have no wish to work fast, not alarm quarry.
I keep forgetting that the murder is only part of the case. Say, Mr. Chan, have you thought of the whippers? Oh, I know their papers are in good shape, but if you say the word...
Captain, you are not thinking of putting the Whipples in your brig, are you?
Hey, Freddie. Have you seen him?
No.
Well, we gotta put the quieters on the Kanaka. He knows too much.
Can't you get by without that stuff, Burke?
Are you kidding? One peep out of the Kanaka and the whole thing is cooked. Come on, let's find him.
Well, all right.
Hey, Pete! Man overboard!
Pete, you sure?
Yes. How you mean, go overboard?
I saw him climb on the rail and he just jumped overboard.
You mean steward go overside of ship of own volition?
Yes, sir.
Is there island near?
Island's here within 4 or 5 miles. We're close to our own landfall. That's all.
He is deserter. 5-mile swim, mere stroll for terrified Kanaka.
We have a motor gig. I could stop and put it over.
Ah, unimportant. Kanaka possessed little information, but much dangerous knowledge. He swam to save own life.
You think someone wanted to get him? I'll be glad when we clear Samoa, Mr. Chan. This cruise has been a nightmare.
But not dull one, Captain.
I'm telling you, he's as guilty as a weasel in a hen house.
Well, Pop will grab him if he is.
Well, he's got a bankroll that'll choke a water buffalo.
Why not a mule?
Ain't no mules where he come from. He come from, he one of them shoemaker man.
What?
Shoemaker on the islands, you know.
Oh, you mean Jamaica.
Well, anyway, it's hot money. I ain't never seen that much cold money in no place at no time.
Say, did you see the sizes of the bills?
Yeah, he's got a big roll. $50,000 bills.
Say, listen, $50,000 bills just don't exist.
Well, he did, and his name is Big Ben, and he's got the steward's job. He's gonna be carrying the baggage.
He is?
Yes.
Well, tail him. Tail him everywhere he goes. Find out where he bunks, and see if he has any incriminating matter in his effects.
Yes, but look here, he's got some knives. Them throwing knives.
Well, find them, and this case is solved.
Good.
No, not those. One small bag, please.
Yes, sir.
What is this?
My equipment, Pop. I gotta have it ashore.
But ship remain in port of Samoa only 24 hours?
Sure, but we got a case to solve.
Oh. With assistance of scientific son, should solve case in very short time. Come in.
It's from your son, Mr. Chan. Sparks had a bit of trouble with the code, but I hope he got it all okay.
Number 3, son Tommy, usually have trouble with code himself. Miss Simmons' father was banker, in Australia, stranded in Manila on way to United States of America with many valuable art objects.
Well, that's plain enough. The girl's father hid the stuff, and she's down here to get it on the quiet.
Kangaroo reaches destination also by leaps and bounds.
Well, it's clear to me.
Oh, there are high stakes in this, Captain. There are gigantic operators behind scheme. I must have more information before I can accuse anyone.
Yeah, perhaps you're right, Mr. Chan. But for my part, I'd throw Mr. Brace in the brig and sweat this girl.
And flesh quarry like quail? Oh, no. Good hunter never break twig underfoot. How soon we can go ashore?
Medical inspection takes about an hour. We should be ashore before dark.
Oh, I see. You will remove those two other cabin. Where is other criminologist?
Oh, he's in touch. I sent him on a mission.
Round him up and say we go ashore before dark.
Okay, Pop. Chop Suey 108 calling Pork Chop 711. Come in, over.
I just got in here. I've got to finish this job.
We'll call. Roger.
Somebody fooled with my property.
Rats!
I shall write a letter to the society on the matter. These islands should have restaurants for people who prefer not to dine in rum shops. No, we'll not return to the boat. We'll dine in the bar. There I can get first-hand information for my report.
Good evening, Doctor and Mrs. Whipple. You will dine?
We're unaccustomed to dining in bars. However,
I'm sure you will enjoy our dinner now. This way, please. You will have dinner now, Mr. Chan?
Not at moment, thank you.
Later.
Dinner, Miss Simmons? No, thank you.
observe little showman, Captain. Where is young lady's fiancé?
Brace? Oh, checking his purser accounts. He should be ashore soon.
You will come with me, Captain. I have idea which may prove interesting.
Sure thing, Mr. Chan.
You think she'll come through with it?
Well, sure. What makes you think she won't?
Nothing. Just wondering, that's all. Where'd she go?
Probably gone to a room to get it.
What about that purser, Brace?
What I care about Brace, it's the girl I'm dealing with.
Look, Burke. Look, you go right back on board ship as soon as you get it, huh?
I don't need your advice. You're in it up to your armpits. I'm merely selling something that Chan was too dumb to see.
Please go back on board, Burke. If anybody gets wind of what you're doing...
Look. Two can pluck one pigeon if it's big enough.
Here she comes.
Here I am, Miss Simmons. Did you bring it?
Yes.
Well, hand it over, sister.
Will you promise that this will be the last we'll hear of you?
Well, maybe, honey, maybe. Come on, give. This pays better than cotton goods. Once a salesman, always a salesman, you know.
There's no code of ethics in your field, then.
Why, sure. For the dumb ones, maybe. But me, I give my word a step at a time. Not promising too much, not too little.
How do I know you can be relied on now?
Oh, I'll keep my mouth quiet on my little matter. That's the deal. But I figure there are bigger fish in these waters, and maybe I'll bait a couple more hooks.
But as far as George, Mr. Brace and I are concerned...
Oh, you're safe, honey, you're safe. P.T. Burke's a man of his word. Careful not to give too much word is all.
Goodbye, Mr. Burke.
Not goodbye, honey. Just good night. We'll meet again sometime. Might invite me to the wedding.
Would like a few moments' conversation, Mr. Burke.
I got to get back on board. I left my wallet in my cabin.
You will step inside, please. You will also retain young lady's gift. Inside. Be seated.
Look, Mr. Chan, my company, the Southern Cotton Mills, will okay me.
You have been fishing in very dangerous waters, Mr. Burke. The gift, please.
Here it is, sir. Well, as the old saying is, no harm done till you get caught, huh? Look, Mr. Chan, if you just let me go, I promise you I'll...
I suggest you talk freely, Mr. Burke.
Well, I don't know anything. Oh, I might have been gambling a bit rough, but that's no crime as I see it.
It is blackmail. You are on American soil.
Well, that's all I know.
Then I will talk for you, up to a certain point. On board ship, the night the United States government agent was killed...
Government agent? I thought he was a traitor.
Unfortunately, not a traitor. When he was killed, you assumed natural role. Loud talking, bragging, know-it-all. Then suddenly, you change completely. You become furtive. You confer frequently with Freddie Kirk and with deserting steward Pete. During that time, you have gained certain knowledge.
Mr. Chan, I'll trade with you. I'll trade what I found out if you'll just let me go.
Excuse, please. I do not trade. On board ship, Somehow you learn that Miss Simmons is traveling under false papers. You suspect that Mr. Brace, the purser, has falsified accounts and has smuggled her into the passenger list. You use this knowledge for blackmail. Having begun blackmail, you are soon aware there is something far deeper underneath than merely two lovers falsifying papers in order to be together.
Look, Mr. Chan, I don't know nothing. This will ruin me with the company.
You begin all of these activities on board ship on the night of the murder, when you have learned someone have borrowed steward's mess coat. Who borrowed the coat?
I don't know. Look, Mr. Chan, I got a wife and kids back in the States. Let me go.
Who borrowed that coat?
All right. If I tell you, will you let me go?
We'll consider same.
Well?
Right through the neck, Mr. Chan. Another one of those knives.
This man would have talked.
You think he knew much?
Minor conspirator.
What now?
Must ask you, Captain, to have Navy services quietly to remove this. Then you will contact Freddie Kirk. Inform him casually that Mr. Burke is dead. Be careful to keep matters secret from the others.
If Freddie throws these knives?
I believe little showman unaware Mr. Burke is dead. With this information, his actions may prove significant.
I'll find him. Where will I meet you, Mr. Chan?
In the bar.
I could delay sailing a few hours if this complicates things.
Not necessary, Captain. Believe case will be closed in ample time. If you see number 2 son Jimmy and my assistant Chattanooga, please ask them to report.
Right.
Thank you.
He went in there with the watchman. Shh. How'd you know the other guy was a watchman? Well, when I walkie-talkie to you, he was walking around the building with a big gun strapped on him. Well, how'd you find Big Ben? Well, I tailed him from the ship like you told me to. Shh.
$10 American money. $10 American money.
Me give you 1 pig.
Pig? Man, what the blazes can I do with a pig?
Eat.
Eat? No fooling, man. You'll make yourself enough money to buy you 50 pigs.
He's peddling dice, Chattanooga. Watch for the bankroll. It's hot money. Watch for it. Come, baby. Come, baby. 7. See? Look. 7s. 7.
That's it, that's it. That's it.
Here he comes. All right, get ready.
Stop! Help! 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 Guard! Guard! Guard!
Help!
Where are you?
Look, Jimmy, hot money.
It's a Kansas City bankroll.
Oh, you mean it ain't no good? I thought we was in some more.
Oh, where did they go?
You should have told me sooner, Rona. Now we've got to do something.
You can't, George. That man will expose you to the company. Mr. Chan.
Excuse, please. Would like brief talk with Miss Simmons.
Just a second, Rona. Let me remind you, Mr. Chan, that Miss Simmons has certain rights. You can't legally question her.
Merely wish to ask young lady one question and to return her property.
Rona, your necklace.
Mr. Chan, how did you... I mean, is Mr. Burke in prison?
Mr. Burke is dead.
Burke? Dead?
Simmons' time has come now for truth. You are British and you travel under improper visa.
Oh, I can explain about those papers, Mr. Chan. Miss Simmons and I wanted to take this cruise together. We're going to be married soon.
Excuse, please. I will do explaining. Miss Simmons is here to locate and identify certain objects of art once stored in banks in Manila.
That's right, Mr. Chan. Those things were entrusted to my father.
Your father did a noble act, Miss Simmons. He chose rather to save his wife and children than objects of art. For this he was blamed.
Oh, you do understand, Mr. Chan. I'll tell you everything. My father's too ill to make the trip, and I know art as well as he does.
Merely wish one piece of information. Who contacted your father in London and arranged this journey?
It was Mr. Kirk, Freddie Kirk.
Mr. Chan, is there anything we can do?
You will both take especial care of yourselves tonight. I will contact you later.
Don't you laugh, does Mr. Chan? And the fun is just starting.
Merely go for a stroll in village.
Got the shipboard killer yet, Chan?
Unfortunately, killer not yet known.
Oh, well, you'll have to hurry before the boat sails.
Huh? Did you say something, my dear?
No, it was Mr. Chan.
Tea, please.
Mr. Chan? Oh, Mr. Chan, how are you? How are you? Is the drowning still unsolved? Or was it a drowning?
Knifing, Professor. Someone threw a blade. The professor's forgetful.
That's right, to be sure, a knife, huh? In the salon. Yeah, but then these islanders are always throwing knives.
Require great skill and delicacy to throw knife of this kind, Professor.
Jimmy, where's my head? There it is. Bit. Shh, quiet. The guard will hear us. This is a fish museum. Let's find a door and get out of here. Jimmy? Jimmy?
Jimmy, help!
It's got me. Help me. Oh. Hey, Jimmy. Look, money.
One of us better go get Pop.
What do you mean, one of us? I ain't gonna leave without you, and you ain't gonna leave without me. Hey, Jimmy, look, what's that?
Come on, let's get out of here. Freddie Kirk found out all right, Mr. Chan.
But, Burke?
Yeah, he was hanging around the veranda when they carried the body out.
Good. When next we see Freddie Kirk, pieces of jigsaw puzzle may begin to fit together.
What's the move now?
Believe Kirk will make the next move through fear. Sit down. Watch closely. May see a clue of interest. Information seems to have upset Mrs. Erickson.
Yes.
Little showman, evidently afraid death hangs over his head.
What? Oh, excuse me, Professor. I'll be right back. Good night, Mr. Whipple. Aren't you going to take in the Siva tonight, Mr. Chan?
Only 3 hours still sailing. We'll have no time for a show now.
Think you can clean up that murder before sailing?
Which murder, Mr. Erickson?
Yeah, I guess lots of them. Fella heard of them all.
Little showman seemed to be in very great hurry. That path lead to Professor Martin's museum.
That's right. I figured it was the Martin crowd right from the start. Is he?
Killer is expert.
I couldn't see a foot in front of me out there. Did you hear that laugh, Mr. Chan?
Perhaps romantic villager.
I heard someone running.
Someone running now. Chattanooga.
Hey, it's Pop. Hey, Pop, we found it. Oodles of it.
Money, Mr. Chan.
Oh, amateur detectives have success?
Yeah, it's in the museum. Everything's stuffed with it.
What? Quick, get Miss Simmons and Mr. Brace here immediately. Oh.
There's enough money here to finance every trader in the Pacific. Mr. Chan, we ought to throw that professor and his party in the brig before they escape.
Escape to where, Captain?
They were talking about a sloop, remember?
Could not get very far. Miss Simmons. Miss Simmons.
The Gauguin.
You know painting?
Oh, yes, it belongs to Mr. Fitzmars, the banker at Wellington.
And this?
Oh, it's Mrs. Usher's miniature.
Miss Chan. Miss Chan. Miss Chan. Look, what's that?
Oh, Chattanooga. Merely turtle. Oh, shh. Someone coming. Hide. Captain. Many people come. Hide yourself. Make no noise. Hide. Many people.
Oh, shh. Quiet, Chattanooga.
You destroyed the work of years, you pig.
All right, you got your orders. Start packing it up. You been fooling with the stuff, Mayfair?
No, of course not.
Who opened these boxes?
I don't know, but if any harm comes to Mrs. Martin...
If it hadn't been for Chan, we wouldn't have had to pull any of this rough stuff. Lane had it figured out that you and the professor would never get wise. But when Lane heard you two were fooling around, we had to move fast. All right, start packing it.
You will drop gun, Mr. Erickson.
Are you hurt?
Where are others?
You find it out. You find it for yourself, you big.
Raise your hands, everybody. Now, ladies, too. Get his gun loaded.
Mr. Brace, you will cover others and remain here.
Yes, sir.
Captain, come with me.
Now.
There we are.
Why, Mr. Chan, she's a man.
So what? Can you beat it? A man.
Quite right, Captain. That is Mr. Joseph Murdoch, handyman and one-time valet and now supposed wife of Mr. Theodore M. Lane.
Why don't you let me get him?
Oh, you were supposed to save my life, eh, Mr. Lane? I thank you so much. But why?
I was saving you, Chan. After that night in the cabin, I knew you wore a protector back and front. I wanted him to get one in your neck with my compliments. The time I could cover up right.
Thank you so much. But you were entirely wrong about protection back and front.
How did you know me?
I've been puzzled for many days. And finally, tonight in barroom, your supposed wife betrayed herself as man by walk.
Mr. Chan.
Excuse me, please. Yes?
We can never thank you enough for what you've done.
Mere routine line of duty, Miss Simmons. I trust your honorable father's possessions you found intact.
As far as I can tell, I think everything's here.
Amicable ending to all problems. Even Captain very happy. He now have enough prisoners to fill ship's brig to overflowing.
Stan, look. Hey, Pop. This is how that thing works.
Oh,